friends. It's another fine morning on the Farm2Table Show, morning edition. It's a no hat Tuesday because, well, honestly, I just forgot to grab it. But anyway, grab your coffee, lace up those boots, and step out onto that dewy ground. Because today we're talking about something you hold in your hand every single day on the road to self reliance. And one of my favorite topics, your tools. This is episode 2 of Step 6 Invest in Your Land, Tools, and Time. And today's theme is simple but strong. Buy once, cry once. Then stop crying because you never have to buy it again. Because when it comes to the self reliant life, tools aren't just nice to have, they're freedom in physical form. Let's dig in. All right. Good morning. The problem with cheap tools. Oh, the old cheap tools. Anyway, you ever grab a shovel from the big box store, take it home, put it in the dirt, and the handle snaps right there on the first try? Oh, yeah. Yep. We've been there. We've all been there. And there's a reason those $14.99 starter sets gather dust. They're not built to last, they're built to sell. But out here, we don't need showpieces. We need workhorses. Because when the grid's down, or the truck won't start, or your window for planting is closing fast, you don't have time to mess around with a broken wrench or a dull blade. And let's be honest, when we buy cheap, we usually end up buying twice. Or worse, we just stop doing the job because our tools are junk. Self reliance demands that we think like owners and not just buyers. Anyway, top 10 tools every homesteader should own. You could fill a barn with gadgets, but when you're starting to build real capacity, these 10 essential tools will carry you through 90% of the work. Let's go down this list. All right, let's go down this list. Oh, hang on. I've got to take care of something. If you ain't figured it out, it is live, Ryan. It is. And I am taking care of something that is apparently going to be a problem. Anyway, let's start off. Number one, sorry about that. It is Tuesday, and what a Tuesday it is. Anyway, first, number one, a solid shovel. All right, not the plastic handled kind. Go for one with a forged steel head and a hardwood handle. Dig, chop, mix, scrape, because this is your land excavating best friend. Always got to have a good shovel handle handy. Um, a quality axe or hatchet would be number two. Whether you're splitting kindling or dropping a sapling, getting one with proper weight and keep it sharp. All right, super important, sharp. Number three, my gray ball cap. Sorry, I'm getting my hat. Anyway, uh, number three, wheelbarrow or garden cart. Now, I'm going to tell you about the wheelbarrows and garden carts because they're great. You're moving compost, hauling feed, stacking firewood. Get one with the proper weight and keep it sharp. There you go, guys. There, y'all can feel normal. I got a lid on. Cover up my hair. Anyway, moving compost, hauling feed, stacking firewood. Get one with good tires and balance. Steel frame preferred, right? And I'm going to tell you, I've had one of them cheapo carts, and it lasted not very long at all. So definitely worth investing in there. Number four, hand pruners or loppers. If you've got anything growing, you need sharp pruners and long handled loppers. Don't skimp on these. Helps tremendously with the limbs and stuff like that. Because I'll promise you, around here, I drop them like crazy. Anyway, number five, a cordless drill or driver set. Because with that, you can do a lot of things. Build coops, repair fencing, make raised beds. Get the good battery powered set, and you will use it all the time. And number six, chainsaw, gas or electric. Firewood, tree cleanup, even lumber cutting. Make sure you know how to use and maintain it safely. Isn't that right, Terry? Anyway, number seven, work gloves, multiple pairs. Leather for heavy work, rubber coated for wet jobs, and breathable cotton for those hot days like we're going to have today. And number 8, toolbox with manual hand tools. Hammers, screwdrivers, adjustable wrenches, pliers, measuring tape. You'll use these on a routine basis. Now, number 9, a hose plus nozzle and watering can. Because water is life. Okay, a good hose saves your back and sanity. Get one that doesn't kink every 2 minutes. Know all about that. And of course, number 10, sharpening tools. A good stone, a file, some oil. Because dull tools, say that twice, dull tools are dangerous. Keep them sharp and ready. Now, here comes a real debatable question. And now listen, I go back and forth on this. New versus used. Where to save and where to spend. Because I'm going to tell you, quality tools cost money. But here's some areas where we can help that out. Okay. These are things you buy new. Okay. Number 1, power tools, where the warranty matters. Okay. You definitely want a good warranty on a good power tool. I love my DeWalt drill. I love my things that I get like that. And then cutting tools that require sharpness and safety, like pruners and saws and things like that. And then chainsaws, unless you know how to inspect the engines. Uh, but anyway, buy used. Now, here's the things you can buy used. Now, and I've done this. It's one of my weaknesses at auctions. I have to watch out. Is hand tools. Look for vintage shovels, rakes, hammers. They're often better made than the new ones. Okay. Now, wheelbarrows and carts. Easy to rehab with a new tire or some WD-40. That's what I did this last time. I bought a nice yard cart. Got to finish getting it rehabbed, but it's out there. Workbenches, shelves, and toolboxes. That I would agree. I have most all of my stuff like that. I've either built it as far as shelves and workbenches, or I bought them and bought them used. My welding benches, that was a thing. But anyway, now axes. Vintage axes can be rehung and sharpened better than most new ones. And I would agree with that. You find an old axe head, and I'll promise it's a good thing. Now, the places to go for these things, check estate sales, auctions, and Facebook Marketplace. Okay, and let's, of course, not underestimate Grandpa's barn, because that's where you find the good stuff. Unless, of course, I'm the grandpa, in which case, stay out of my barn. But anyway, now here's what we do with segment 4. Create a monthly tool budget. One of our core strategies in this step is this: invest monthly in a tool, project, or improvement that increases independence. This means budgeting $10, $25, $100 a month, whatever your level, to slowly but steadily upgrade your kit. Slow and steady builds capacity. This isn't about splurging. It's about stacking freedom one tool at a time. Okay? Because there's freedom in owning the right tools. There's something powerful, maybe even spiritual even, about having the right tool for the job and knowing you can handle it. You don't have to borrow. You don't have to ask permission. You don't have to wait on someone else to come help. Self-reliance isn't just about stockpiling food or growing lettuce. It's about becoming useful again. When a neighbor's tree falls and you've got the chainsaw, you're useful. When the pipes burst and you've got the wrench, you're useful. Or when the fence breaks and you've got the drill, you got it, you're useful. Tools make you a producer, a contributor, and a problem solver, and that is great. So, something very important, if you've got the tools, is taking care of them, okay? Because the only good thing that you got to do, just the thing about tools, they'll last forever if you take care of them. Now, here's a quick checklist that we can go through, and I am good. Uh, this is an area I need to get better at. Okay, clean your tools after every use, especially cutting tools, because sap, and things like that can kill sharpness on a chainsaw and things like that. Dry your tools before storing, because rust never sleeps, and that's a fact. Um, Oil your parts, your metal parts once a month. Linseed for wood, 3-in-1 for metal. Definitely not something I'm good at. Sharpen regularly. Don't wait for dullness to tell you it's time. Right? And hang them up. This is where I'm really terrible. Hang them up, not in a pile, not in a mudroom, and not in the back of the truck. A dowel axe is dangerous, and I got a nice little scar there on my thumb to prove that. But anyway, and a rusted shovel, well, it'll slow you down. Used to always wonder why my dad kept his shovels sharpened, the edges, and I know now. Invest time and care, and these tools will be with you longer than your mortgage. Um, so, let's talk about something. We'll tell you a little story. Call this the $1,000 tool revolution. We'll tell you about a guy named Caleb. A couple of years ago, he realized he was wasting hours borrowing, fixing, or fighting with tools that didn't work. So he challenged himself to invest $1,000 over 12 months. It's about $80 a month into nothing but tools. By the end of the year, he had replaced 90% of his junk tools, built a chicken tractor, 2 raised bed systems, a mobile rabbit hutch, and a firewood rack, all on his own. He was also able to help some neighbors with fence repair and things like that, which earned him favors and a freezer full of venison. So, hey, nothing like a good trade out, you know. And he said it was the year that he stopped digging around and started doing things. So, yeah, good deal there. So, just saying, a little bit of budget. It don't take a lot of money each month, and you can build up and do some really nice stuff. So, here's the challenge. And we always have our challenge. Here's the challenge. Here's your 6-step challenge. Choose one tool that's missing, broken, or worn out. Do your research. New, used, trade, or even thrift. Okay. Replace it with quality. Okay. Get a good quality tool. And take care of it like it's your partner in freedom. And if you've already got what you need, well, invest in maintenance. Sharpen everything, oil everything, clean that shop. Clean that shop. Hang the tools with care because the tools you tend will tend to you. All right. Because tools are not just implements, they're extensions of your intention. They take what's in your head and make it real with your hands. So start building that toolbox like it matters because it does. Investing in good tools isn't just prepping, it's producing, it's progressing. It's planting freedom in your shed, your shop, and in your spirit. So next time someone asks, how do I start becoming more self-reliant? You can tell them this with a shovel, a drill, and a plan. So until we get this all figured out, stay sharp, stay steady, and keep building. Well, good morning, everybody. The chat was active because, well, all because of a hat. I don't understand. You know, I was, the funny thing was, I knew I didn't have it on. Told myself to grab my hat. And walked out and forgot. I said I'll be okay, but apparently it was quite disturbing. But good morning to everybody. Glad to see you in, and we're going to jump into roll call. And Man, Jeff was in this morning. Scotty was in this morning. Rebecca was in early. Scotty started us off telling Johnny to give his voice, and and ask for a prayer of protection over us all. That's right. Amen, Scotty. Appreciate that. So good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Rebecca. And Bro, of course. Good morning, Robbie. Glad to see you in there. And Johnny was awake. Hope y'all heard Johnny this morning. Let's see. Morning, Cody. Glad to see you back up here with us. Good morning, Ed Kirkpatrick. Let's see. Good morning, Ed. I was reading through. Sore. Yes, I bet you are. For those who don't know, Code Man had his gallbladder taken out yesterday. And yes, Robbie, it was live Ryan today. He's late. Well, yeah, a couple of seconds. It wasn't even a full minute there. Yeah, catch a break. Anyway, no lid. Yes, Jeff. Yeah, I know. No hashtag no hat Tuesday. No, let's not do that. Anyway, I did it, but it's not my hand. Just showing off his hair. Yeah, I do have hair. It's just gray. Who is that hatless guy? Yeah, no kidding. It is rare. It is rare. I ran into a guy yesterday that I hadn't seen, known him for years, hadn't seen him in a while, and he's like, man, he said, I didn't recognize you with that hat on, and which is backwards for everybody else, but he was a church friend, and so the only time I usually saw him was at church, and that's the one place I don't wear a hat. And so when my dad died, the only thing he left me was his hairline. Ow. Shovel, hammer, pick, plow, hoe, and I don't. Oh, Cody, hey, this is a family-friendly program. Careful with all that stuff. All right. Uh, and he don't like hatless Ryan. Yeah, yeah, I don't like hatless Ryan. Fancy show. He has an assistant. Yes, my lovely wife. She said, "Oh well, no, he don't." Anyway, my lovely wife was kind enough to come in and grab me a hat, so I didn't have to get up. And Anyway, good morning, Joy Bartlett. Glad to see you in this morning with us and enjoying the humor. Keith made that statement right there. Can't live without my impact driver. Yeah, I'm with you. I use the drill. I've got the DeWalt drill, and I prefer it. But definitely. Uh, oh, that's funny, Keith. I like that. I thought the cannon hose was for when you run out of gas. Yeah, well, that's just one. Uh, uh, Okay, Scotty, here we go. I got to do this. Hat or to hat not. Never leave home without it. That's Ryan's motto. Generally speaking, I've always got a hat laying somewhere. Yeah. And Keith's trying to tell me, ignore us, bro. And Robbie asks if the chat isn't distracting us a little bit. And I probably shouldn't have it open. I probably should close the chat box when I'm in that first segment because sometimes it is, Uh, And then Scotty said, "Would we do that to Ray?" Not intentionally. Not intentionally. It's me. Just it's out of the corner of my eye, and or it'll pop up on the share screen, and it's just hard to keep it. Sometimes it cracks me up. But anyway, when a problem arises, it's always good to know you have the right tool for the job. That's correct, and that's the big thing right there is that you've got the right tool for the job, and let's see. The most stressful problem is the one you don't have the answer to. Yeah. Uh, let's see. Here we go. Scotty's got a good one there. Pegboards with hooks is the best idea. I've had a pegboards. I do like a good pegboard. I've got to get mine back up. When we moved up here, I just kind of shoved everything into my little garage, and I have not done anything. It's going to be I may videotape it. I've got to pull everything out, do some roof repair, and then build shelves and everything and put everything back in the right way. And that's going to be a weekend worth of work by itself. But anyway, and I like that right there, Scotty. Quality, not quantity. That's right. Then, of course, Scotty, a bolt and nut bin, I think is what he meant. But anyway, no hat, no show. LOL. Okay, bro, you made your point. Yeah. Yeah, Code Man asking how I'm feeling. Well, actually, my back's a little sore, but I'm feeling okay today, Cody. And I'll go ahead and share with everybody what Cody is referencing. Uh, Yesterday, I went to work, got up, we did a show, doing fine. Got up, went to work, doing fine. Got in my truck, got to going down the road, and got to not feeling real good. Head space kind of got a little weird feeling, kind of I say lightheaded, but not like dizzy. Just kind of like just my head wasn't right, and started having chest pains. And anyway, started feeling just not feeling real well. And so anyway, I got back to the yard, made my return trip. Got back to the yard. I was still feeling that way. I wasn't feeling good, so went to the nurse. Went to our company nurse and had her check my um, blood pressure because I knew it was up. I could tell it was up, and it was up a lot. It was 168 over 98. And anyway, and my pulse was up to 101, resting, and I was hot. And of course, when I get blood pressure goes up, you get hot. And so anyway, she recommended I call my primary care provider, which was through the VA. I called him. Anyway, he told me, he said, listen, go to the ER, let them check you out just for precautionary measures. So I went and spent yesterday in the middle, sitting in the ER all day, getting tested. I did CT scan, did the blood work, did back X, did chest X-ray, all that stuff. Went through all the stuff. They said they don't know what happened. Didn't have a heart attack. None of the enzyme in the blood test work or any of that stuff indicated a heart attack. And CT scan, I was normal, or well, I say normal. It told them what they needed to see. Chest X-ray didn't show anything of concern. And just an add-on for those who don't know, I have an aneurysm on my aortic root of my heart, which is right at the bottom of the big valve that comes in and feeds all the blood. Anyway, so they measured that to make sure it hadn't grown or it wasn't leaking. Basically, of course, by then my blood pressure settled down, and I'm just hanging out. But spent the day there. But They don't know what happened. They just know what didn't happen. And what didn't happen was my aneurysm didn't give me an issue and I didn't have a heart attack. So now I've got to follow up with my doctor and I don't know, figure out what happened. But anyway, so yes, very thankful that everything looks good. I don't like not knowing why it did it out of nowhere, but we'll figure that out and cross that bridge. But anyway, so let me see. Right, having tools die in the middle of a job is not productive. No. If you have battery operated tools, get multiple batteries. And that's why I try to keep my power tools that are battery operated. I try to keep those the same brand. So that I've got multiple batteries I can interchange. My two brands that I tend to buy is DeWalt and Craftsman. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Diaphragm. Good to see you, buddy. We're about to play your redneck weather report. You're right on time. But anyway, I tend to buy DeWalt, like I said, just simply because I started out that way. And anyway, that's what I got. And anyway, and then I buy Craftsman. Part of it's just old school. Dad had Craftsman. I've been around my whole life. I know it's not the same company, um, but it's convenient to where I'm at. I can get them at Lowe's. I can get them at Ace Hardware. Um, but the main reason is price point difference between a Craftsman and a DeWalt can at times be pretty high. Uh, Now, price point does matter, but the main thing that I look at when I buy is frequency of use. Uh, if it's something I'm going to use occasionally, it's not a routine tool, and I'm not going to be just tearing it apart and abusing it. And price point difference is drastic, then I'll usually go with the Craftsman. If it's something I'm going to use every day or a lot, then I'm willing to spend a little bit more money usually and go with the DeWalt. All just depends on its function and what I want out of it, and that type of stuff. But those are the two brands I tend to buy because of battery exchange, so that I have multiple batteries. I think I got a stack of DeWalt batteries, and I'm getting pretty good stack of Craftsman batteries. And I've got their chargers, so I have charger banks. Now my auto tools, my Impact, I have bought. I didn't buy them; they were gifted to me. They were used, from my nephew, but 3/8 and a half inch battery operated Impact drivers, and man, that has been a game changer when it comes to automotive work, changing tires, that kind of thing. Because I don't got an air line, I ain't got to run an air compressor. But anyway, so investing in tools, whether you're a Milwaukee, whether you're, those type of, your brand, and I'm not picking on anyone. I'm not going to, I told you mine that I get. Everybody's got different stuff. My two nephews, Keith's son Josh, and our nephew, got through too many nephews, Jeremy. They're Milwaukee guys. They're Milwaukee all the way, and nothing. And they're good tools. I've got, in my hand tools, I got a mix. I've got some Milwaukee screwdrivers. Love them. They're really good. So, but just investing in tools. Um, you know, I'm a big. I don't believe in throwing much away when it comes to tools, because you might find a repurpose. But good quality tools that you can depend on. Um, I wish they did, Scotty. Scotty asked a very good question. Um, let's see where we at here. Do they have a universal battery that can go into any tool, no matter the company? You would think so. Of course, they wouldn't make as much money that way, but somebody out there is probably working on it. And I'm sure there's adapters, because that's what Jack was just saying. You can get adapters to use DeWalt batteries in a Craftsman tool. Um, you know, and Cody's saying his dad has Rigid, and Rigid's a good tool. Uh, and good morning, Delighted Acres. Glad to see you. And I said, I like my DeWalt. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a DeWalt guy. Uh, and yeah, and I may have to, may have to look into that, Jack, because I do. Uh, I go back and forth now, and I've got more DeWalt batteries than I do Craftsman batteries. But it's good to have them. I always keep some charged, and you know, So that way I've usually, because I've been mid job, have battery die, and that kind of stinks. As Keith said earlier, stinks to have your tools by in the middle of it. But, even on the shovels and the axes, I mean, uh, I've done the whole fiber, the fiberglass plastic handle because they're lightweight. And yeah, sure enough, they crack. Most of the time they'll crack, they're split. So, spent a little bit of money there getting the good stuff. But, in the paper where it talked about, estate sales and auctions, it's talked about those types of places. Man, if it's got tools, I'm interested. And that's where I've got a lot of hand tools. I have the power tool equivalents, my, skill saws and things like that. And, um, and I have the power tools. I believe God allowed us to have them. I'm going to use them. But I have a thing for buying the hand tools, the non-powered, because I guess I've just one I like to, and and but you know that's when like I said, I like the old tools and I like having them around. I don't believe I don't care how old it is, and you can get a lot of stuff. The old Hobo Freight store, Harbor Freight, you can get a lot of good stuff, and there, even though it's not the name brand, you can get some good tools there. And I've got stuff that I've had for 15 plus years that I bought there and still working. So you can get good stuff there. And let's see what we got here. 18 volts are getting weak. Yeah, that does tend to happen depending on age. Certain brands. I bought an old Walmart drill. I was out on the road. I needed to fix something. And went to Walmart, the old Hyper Tough, bought that drill. Now it doesn't hold a charge very long anymore, but it still works. Just the battery started getting weak, but it did the job that I needed at the time, and it was $40. Believe me, I got way more than $40 worth of use out of it. And Keith said he got a pretty good deal on a Bosch router that he likes. And thank you, Jack. Yeah, I seen the phone buzzing in. Thank you. A pretty good deal on a Bosch router. I like it quite well. Yes, I think I've got a Bosch. One of mine's a Bosch. And but I've got a lot of use ones. Both of my routers are used. I've got my skill saw is used. I've got, I'm not above buying used tools. I'll promise you that. And the weather out here is clear. It's not too bad right now. It's about to be 90, but we're going to get over to the redneck weather report because we are getting up against it. I get talking about tools, and of course, I shared my story about yesterday. So, and I can talk for days about tools. I knew that this was going to be a hard one to keep under control because it's one of my favorite subjects. But let's go see what's going on in the world of Jack and the red and the weather. All right, here we go. All right. Da, 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 da.
Good morning, rednecks. It is 74 degrees this morning, June the 17th, 2025. We got a 9-mile-an-hour south-southeast wind, but it feels like it's 76 degrees, 67-degree dew point, and we're going to get to 95 today. God bless y'all. We'll see you again tomorrow. Good.
Wow, 95 out there, Jack. It's supposed to be 90 here, I think. Anyway, so yeah, it's getting hot, warming up. I know we got some rain later this week, but it is warming up, no doubt about it. So thank you for that weather report, Jack. Appreciate it. Let's get through the brain buster right quick. How does a sponge hold water when it's full of holes? I don't have an answer for that, but it's a good question. How does a sponge hold water when it's full of holes? Hey, good morning, Chris Thompson. Good to see you in. Anyway, and yes, it's heating up. Summer is approaching. Jeff said 70 for a high there, up there in the north of New York. Anyway, quote of the day: Man is a tool using animal. Without tools, he is nothing. With tools, he is all. Thomas Carlyle. Man is a tool using animal. Without tools, he is nothing. With tools, he is all. Uh, I'm getting things done sometimes. I'm with you, Jack. As soon as good morning, Tracy. Glad to see you and with us. Uh, Hope everybody's doing well up there. And yes, Jack, I'm still going to stay in the AC of my truck when I get going this morning here shortly. But anyway, let's blow through some upcoming events real quick. We're running over on time a little bit. Homestead Freedom Festival, South Fork Homestead this weekend, June 20th, 21st, in Paris, Illinois. Jack said the answer to the brain buster is it has porosity. Fancy word today, Jack. Porosity. Ohio, 78 today. Yeah, we're in Ohio this week. Oh, well, you're up there in Tracy and some of them's neighborhood. There, see, and Janet Neese who watches. And by the way, we got a different group. We've got our tablers that are here. First thing in the morning. Without tools, you're all thumbs. Yes, Scotty, like that. That's funny. There you go. Uh, and so glad you had the answer, Jack. Now I can sleep. That's it. Somebody, 212 heart tools. Yeah. Uh, but anyway, uh, uh, there's also I've been seeing it. The replay crew. Uh, we've got to go. They call themselves the replay. So they watch it later. They watch on the replay. So to the replay crew, when you get in there, glad you're watching. So anyway, that was the upcoming event this weekend, Homestead Freedom Festival. End of the month, Modern Homesteading Conference, Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, June 27th and 28th, modernhomesteading.com. You find information there or on the old fake book. September 5th and 6th, the Ozarks Homesteading Expo, Marshfield, Missouri. Looking forward to be in there at that one. That's a great event. Looking forward to some goat's milk ice cream and a good time hanging out with some cool vendors, cool speakers, and just a good group of people up there. And then end of September, Oklahoma Homestead Rendezvous, September 26th and 27th at the Southeast Expo Center in McAllister, Oklahoma. It is shaping up to be a great event. Vendors and speakers and everything coming together. Chris and Dodge and the group are doing a great job with that. And uh, they are. I think it's just going to be as good as last year was. I think this is going to be bigger and better. Super excited about it. Looking forward to seeing many of the people right here in this chat at that event, and including the founder, coordinator, owner, all person responsible for it, Chris Thompson, who you've seen up there in the chat. But anyway, so super excited about that. And then, of course, Homesteaders of America Conference, October 10th and 11th, Front Royal, Virginia. And anyway, not really sure how that's going to work out, but I know they're sold out of tickets. And so, keep your eyes open. Somebody might want to, if you're in that area or if you want to make the trip. But anyway, that's going to be a great event. Granddaddy of them all. And the lineup is second to none. But anyway, loving the chat over there today. Thank you all for being in here. But that is a wrap for today on the Farm2Table Show Morning Edition. Thanks for joining us as we strive towards building stronger communities for now and in the future. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channels on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Rumble. It is the best way to stay connected, help grow the conversation about food, farming, and community. Uh, Bro, before I jump out of here, what was that? There it is. I see it. Thank you. Hashtag connect and grow. I knew there was something we had talked about yesterday. That hashtag right there, connect and grow. I'm gonna put that up on the wall. That's we talked about that yesterday. Anyway, until next time, keep your roots deep and your vision growing. Good food starts with great people just like you. Remember, we are hashtag stronger together. Hashtag tablers unite. Hashtag think outside the big box store. Shop local. And hashtag connect and grow. Man, I'm going to have to start printing that off, but that list is getting so long of great hashtags. But anyway, be a blessing to someone today, okay? Even if it's just a smile, a friendly hello, a wave. I miss the old day. People wave when they're driving down the road, and I love it. Connect and grow with the Farm to Table Show. That's right. But anyway, so Anyway, y'all guys have a blessed day. Um, Hoping it's well for you, and we will see you all tomorrow morning right here, 6 a.m. And we'll see you all on the other side. We're going to send this over to Hank and let him take us on out of here. So take it away, Hank.
No humans were harmed in the production of this podcast.